Hey guys, Drift0r here. I'm bringing you another episode of Showing Off. This was supposed to be a dual com with fisticuffs, but that never really worked out. I could never get past the Twitter phase of contact with fisticuffs, and he promised to do the dual com, and then he's like, "Oh, if I don't do it by this day, I think it was Mortal Kombat release day. I'm not doing it." Look at this. See this Zombotar guy here? The Zombotar. I forget his gamer tag. He smashed four of my teammates. I'm giving him payback right there in the form of dual scorpions. He is my nemesis this entire game. He hunts me. He hounds me, and I give him payback as often and as frequently as I possibly can. Let's see this little guy right here. He thinks he's all clever down in Last Stand. Yeah, well, fuck you and your Last Stand. I hope you like getting knifed. I love how that blood spray goes across in slow motion. It looks great. But this was a really fun game. I don't think my kill-death ratio was all that great, but lots and lots of interesting things, kind of like this happens. Dodging the grenade being thrown over me. I'm going to kill both of these guys. I so want to talk about this gameplay, but I'm actually going to talk about something completely different for a little while and just mix up the gameplay. I ran out of ammo here. I had to break out the dual CZ75s, and even though I'm shooting backwards, somehow the bullets are going forward because that's, well, you know, that's how Call of Duty works. It's magical like that. But today I got to kind of film and babysit Ron Paul all day. I don't know how many of you know who Ron Paul is. He's the Texas congressman from a district in Houston. I forget the exact district. He's really big in the libertarian movement, and he is huge amongst young people and politicians. He's a really cool guy, has really different views on government and politics, and he's very, very honest and genuine. Yeah, my Claymore got that guy. Very different than most politicians, and he has really huge balls. Like, if you think back to the old debates, like the old 2008 Republican primary debates, it was all like a big circle jerk. They would all be like, yeah, Iraq war, good, yeah, support troops, love America, and he would just say things like, you know, we're about to hit a huge financial crisis. We need to stop blowing money in Iraq, blah, blah, blah. And just things absolutely unbecoming of the average Republican or even the average politician. And instead of backfiring, he actually got a really huge following from it. But I was on campus, and the Young Americans for Liberty sponsored, watch me, I'm going to spray this guy. I think I only get an assist on his partner. Somebody else stole the kill, that bastard, but it still looked really cool. He got a grenade off just in time to blow me up. Was that Zombotar? Was it? Yes. Stupid Zombotar. I hate you. Zamatar, I can't even read it because my preview is too small. Some of you actually got to see this preview. You've already seen the gameplay. That's because it went up. It was supposed to be unlisted or private, and there's a nice double right there. I think I'm going to show this again in theater mode. And half of you got to see it. I got a lot of dislikes on it. A lot of people commenting about how I'm lazy and don't do commentary. Guys, sometimes I upload a low resolution preview, so when I do a dual com, which this was supposed to be, look at all that blood spraying around. I don't even know where it comes from, that the other dual partners can kind of see the gameplay that we're talking about. But it was a really cool day filming Ron Paul. I was official press. I had a little, I wasn't even supposed to be. I was just supposed to be the camera dude. And I just had a little badge, DSLR camera, and my flip camera. And it was like $10 stand. It was ghetto as hell. Right now I'm being gassed to death, but I feel aggressive, so I'm just going for it. I didn't stand in the gas this long. This is slow motion. This is like 1/5, 1/10 speed. But I do manage to get one nice headshot off right there. Like, man, that was just beefcake. So it was really interesting filming the book signing, getting the HDR, so not HDR, I'm thinking PVR. It was the flip camera set up in place so that we get the whole train of people following him for the book signing. You're going to see a lot of this on my channel. You'll see that, but speeded up, so it looks like a montage of people flying past Ron Paul. There's Zemotar again, this bitch shooting at me with his noob tubes. That's so annoying. This guy lives the role of the demo man. He's got the demo suit. He carries explosives. He has a big beard. It's ridiculous. I mean, he is the definition of the demo man. But back to Ron Paul. This is a battle that I lost. You're going to see me try and shoot him, but he's faster and knifes me. I got to take pictures of him all day at the book signing. Really nice guy, as genuine as he can be. But today was a crazy day, not just because Ron Paul was there and I was babysitting everything, not babysitting, taking pictures, but because my town was under siege from tornadoes. There were like 3 tornadoes blow through the neighborhood and huge, crazy storms just like blowing me off the road while I was driving or getting my camera wet and all sorts of other stuff. And I don't know if many of you or how many of you live in the South or from other countries and don't know what tornadoes are. They're basically kind of like smaller condensed hurricanes, and they'll just strip the ground flat and flatten buildings and cars and people and suck up anything. I really should have got a triple here, but I think I only ended up getting a double. Hell, I have to reload, and this guy, I didn't even shoot him. He was just laying there, and he gets away. I don't even understand how that works. But it was really cool. Ron Paul was a really nice guy. I got some pictures of him. You might see that at the end of this video. But for some reason, I take pictures all day. I'm nice. But when it comes my turn to take a picture, I have a full-on derp face. Just a big, I look like Sloth from the Goonies, and it was really embarrassing. I might actually delete it. I thought it would be cool to have a picture with Ron Paul, but not if I just look like an absolute doofus. I don't know if many of you have had that like that happen. I also goofed again because the weather was bad and it was screwing things up. We were supposed to have a press conference at in a certain building in our campus, but that also happens to be the building that's a tornado shelter. So when the sirens went off, what was supposed to be a private press conference with a couple of news teams and me turned into a madhouse with like plus 200 students that wouldn't stop talking or didn't know what was going on, which they should have, but they didn't. And the news crew was struggling to get set up. They didn't have their stuff. I'm trying to rock my flip camera and make it look as professional. People are blocking the lights and talking and screwing up the audio, and sirens are going off. Ron Paul's still trying to have his question and answer press conference, and we're setting everything up. And I guess he'd seen me earlier in the day, and I'm just sitting there just flustered and fighting with people trying to get the flip cam in the right place, and they're like, "Ooh, you're wet and you smell bad, don't get close to me." And I'm like, "Look, I haven't pressed. I can tell you to leave if I want to, because you know, I have a little badge. They don't know any better." So I've just got everything set up. He's like, "I'm now taking questions." He just points at me. He's like, "You, do you have any questions?" And you know, you would think you would have some kind of awesome, great question, but I was so prepared to just be the camera guy today, I didn't think of any questions. I didn't have anything to say. I never expected to even really talk to the guy, just kind of be close and take neat pictures and like, "Hey, can you smile? Can you walk over here? The lighting's good, blah, blah, blah." But instead he's like, "Hey, do you have any questions?" As he thought I was media, because only media was supposed to be talking. And I was like, "I don't know, dude. I'm just the cameraman." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'll move on to somebody else then." And there we go. Full-on derp again. I can ask Ron Paul anything in the world, and all I can say is, "I don't know, dude. I'm just the camera guy." And 2 seconds after that, it's hitting me like a ton of bricks. Like, "You fucking moron. What were you thinking, Drifter? Punch yourself in the face. Damn it." On the plus side, the video did turn out fairly well, even though there were like hundreds of people huddled up in there, all covered in rain and sweating all over each other and mumbling and not really knowing what's going on. And the sirens actually got worse, and Ron Paul's, he's kind of like, "Fuck this, I'm not staying in this room full of hundreds of students, this isn't really my thing." So he goes up to a private room on the 2nd floor. They got him a different tornado shelter, and me and the group that I'm with, the Young Americans for Liberty, we're like, "All right, we're getting out of here, we're getting out of here." And I have like 2 minutes to pack up all my cameras and all my shit and get in the elevator before they take us all up and lock it down. I barely did that, but the news crew that was there before, they left some of their equipment with me to watch it because they had to step out to do something with the weather. Like, I don't know what the weather was a big deal to them. Yeah, I haven't even been commenting about the cinematic gameplay. I get revenge on some guy right here, or not revenge, but payback, comeback, whatever. So after the tornado sirens pass, they come back to the building we were before, the doghouse. We call it the doghouse, Mississippi State University Bulldogs. And they're looking for their equipment, and they're flipping out. So I have camera crews hunting me down. They do find me, and I'm like, "Hey, I didn't steal your equipment. I was keeping other students from stealing it. Here it is." On the plus side, since my audio wasn't so hot, and I kind of, you know, safeguarded their equipment, they decided to let me borrow their audio or their entire video file, which was really nice. Then we went to the Lee Hall Auditorium, which is a 1,000-seat building, and even though there's tornado sirens blaring and like pouring down hail and rain and cats and dogs, 1,000 people show up. 1,000 people slog through tornadoes and hail and bad weather to come see Ron Paul, and I'm there working the camera, taking pictures, just covered in head to toe in water. And some old guy in the back gets mad. He's like, "Stop flashing me!" And I'm like, "I'm trying to take pictures of the crowd and show that they're happy." And he's like, "Oh, blah, 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 stop flashing me." Climb up to the 3rd floor, taking pictures, like leaning way over the edge, trying to take artsy pictures. Even the 3rd balcony was full. I almost fell off that bitch. I almost died, but it was still fun. The crazy thing was, in all this shuffling around and running, I did not have time to charge my camera. My flip camera was running on like no battery, and I knew it wouldn't make it through the whole presentation, the whole speech. It was an hour and a half. And at the end of the speech, I went to go check the flip camera. I'd been running around taking pictures while it was running, and it was off. I'm like, son of a bitch, I knew it. I lost half the speech. I lost the ending. I lost the good part. and totally screwed. But luckily, I go and I check the film, and I'm like, I just want to see where it cuts off. It cut off 10 seconds after Ron Paul left the stage. 10 seconds after he left the stage, it ran out of battery. So I got the entire thing just perfect. Like, of all the things that were working against us, like, they were divinely planned. It was also, I guess, I'm a little religious here, divinely planned that, or good luck, thank God, that I had just enough battery, just a second's amount of battery to get the entire speech. It was really great. I also forgot to mention that we were supposed to have a private reception with a banquet and all this kind of stuff, but due to the tornadoes, the food never made it in time. So we kind of just like didn't pay the people because they told us like they don't care, blah blah blah. We don't control the weather. We don't care if it's a congressman or who it is, blah blah blah. You'll get your food when it comes. And they brought it, I think, almost an hour after the reception was over. So we just kind of like didn't pay and left, and it was pretty cool. Except that I was fucking starving by the end of the night. I had to go eat cheesecake, and that was delicious cheesecake. I'm well into the black here, but you should just be seeing some pictures of the entire event. It was a crazy mad fun day. This was the crazy mad condensed version of it. I hope you enjoyed the commentary, even though it had nothing to do about Call of Duty.